Well, it's me and Becky. Becky and I.
However you say it.
Yes, coming to you with something on our hearts, guys. And I think maybe we would call that how to keep it fresh in our relationships, in our team dynamics, and just in the ministry, because we go on and on. We work day by day by day, nose to the grindstone,
Yeah.
right? Working hard, producing fruit, all the things, getting the stuff. I mean, we have been getting stuff done, right? But we work together through relationship. And so it's important, really, really detrimental that we keep those relationships fresh and alive. And so I think there's some things that happen as if like what would you say, staleness comes in.
Yeah.
One,
Familiarity,
yeah,
comfort.
we begin to not recognize how people are growing and how wonderful they are. We begin to not recognize that maybe we're not growing and we could be more wonderful, right? So let's talk about that, Becky. How do we keep it fresh in our relationships?
Well, I think the first thing that we got to pay attention to is the feeling of, like, basically, how do we figure out the state or the health of our relationships is just what kind of friction or
Right.
irritation or just general sense we get when people walk into the room. Sometimes there's little things that just kind of wear on us a little bit and we kind of get used to it. We almost accept it like it's okay. When really the issue isn't so much like what's wrong with that person, but the question that we have to ask ourselves, first of all, always is, number one, am I giving enough grace?
Right.
Because everybody's working hard, everybody's giving their best, everybody's doing their utmost. And so a lot of times we instinctively, when there's just a sense of like unease or uncomfortableness or whatever like that, it's because of the other person. But I think one of the first things that we need to do is ask ourselves all the time, am I being gracious?
Right.
Am I being kind in how I'm talking to people? Am I being, gentle, or am I kind of, just treating people like they're not as valuable as I would want to be treated myself,
right.
kind of thing.
And I think to do that, what I notice, in my relationships with people is when I do get, like, what was that word? Frustrated or,
Irritated.
yeah, with people, it's because I've begun to fail to recognize how precious they are and how important they are.
Yeah, it's true.
And we just simply need to start focusing on the good, right? A lot of times, and because I think about people around the ministry here, we're working hard together, and there's things that can irritate you or something, you expected something to be done, it wasn't done, or whatever, right? And those things, if that's all you allow to add up in your bank, right? It's going to come across then.
Yeah.
But when we just stop and look at people and realize how absolutely amazing they are. I had a great conversation with Jet, our Cambodian missionary. Yeah, yesterday. She left back for Cambodia this morning, but just came for a little break and to visit Pastor Ronald as he's here. And we were just talking about, why is it that in Victory Asia we have such an amazing family atmosphere?
Yeah.
And really, it's because we honor each other so highly. And I was explaining to her, I was looking at, a bunch of the young people sitting in front of the building last night, and we were out there by the Jeep talking. I said, you see all those people over there? When I look at them and I see them, I actually see them as much more valuable than I see myself. I see them as much higher potential than I see myself. And if I think I'm the guy, then there's going to be that frustration, right? And that feeling. But if I think, no, they're the one, right? You're the one, right? And it's about looking at the things of others that Paul said, and not looking at the things of ourselves and thinking that we're so smart, right?
That's right. Yeah, and I think too, if we can have that perspective, then we don't major in the minors. We don't make the little things, so big. Like sometimes we want to change the way somebody maybe works or the way they drink their coffee next to us, or like there's little things like that you're just like, what is going on? And the reality is those things are so insignificant compared
Right.
to what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes we put so much focus on the things that irritate us, right? Instead of looking at the goal, looking at what it is that we're actually moving together on. What are we in unity about? And so I think just in general, when we feel we have to just be paying attention, because what you don't want to be doing is, and sometimes it's not even like a big problem or a big deal. It's not something, a fight or anything like that, but you're just irritated by people, or you're just kind of annoyed. They get under your skin. The thing that we have to do is always have grace. How much grace am I giving? And then I think the second thing we need to figure out is what in my heart needs to be adjusted first. Because a lot of those things are actually not like we need to have a conversation and you change how you slurp your coffee, right? A lot of it is, I just need to get over being so sensitive, or I need to get over being so grumpy, or I need to get over expecting you to think the way that I think or work the way that I work, you know? And once you've had grace and once you've tried to correct what it is in you that needs to be corrected in your heart, if there's still a prevailing issue there, then maybe have a conversation. Consider having a conversation.
Yeah.
Just in order to deepen that relationship, you know? And the conversation could just be simply, you know, I don't want to be, but I just find that I'm frustrated or I'm tired when I'm around you. And so I'm just wondering if there's something I'm doing, or if there's, maybe can we just pray for each other? Is there just a way we can kind of get over this so that we're not perpetually dealing with it? Because what I hate is 5 years from now, you're still hearing, you know, this person annoys me this way.
Yeah, right.
You know, and you're like,
Good point.
Why
5
are
years
we,
from now, yeah.
why are we still? As we grow, our relationship should be deepening. Our relationship should be getting healthier.
Yeah.
You know, we need to, just kind of like how you have new problems that you're fighting, you should also have maybe new issues.
Sure.
The same ones.
That's so true. I was talking to Renee yesterday, gossiping about some of our leaders. But it's leadership gossip. Talking about how wonderful people are, right? It's a good kind of gossip. But because we do, your leaders talk about you, you know. And she was pointing out how another person in the ministry that we're all close to had overcome a habit that used to bug us all, right? And I thought, that's neat, pointing that out, because I hadn't realized, you know? And I'm thinking that person has actually overcome a habit that was a bad habit that did cause, you know, slurp the coffee or whatever it might be, you know, some of those little things. And so it's really good for us to be aware as well, is
Where people are growing.
yeah, like, am I doing something stupid and useless that's just bugging people all the time? or am I nice to be around? And I think that's huge. People want to be around people that are nice.
Yeah, and that aren't draining, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think just because we are in a relationship and it is easy. I mean, you know, if you've ever been married, you know, right? It happens in our working relationships too. And I just want to encourage us that we don't just kind of look over it or gloss over it or just keep, you know, nose to the grindstone and ignoring it. We want our relationships to be healthy.
Yes.
We want our community to be healthy. And I just recently was in Cambodia visiting Pastor Ralph and Jet, and we also went and visited Harley. And it was just so neat to see how well the team is getting along, how highly they speak of each other.
Right.
You know, when the other person wasn't there. And I just so appreciate this about so-and-so. And I just was so impressed by how much honor,
Right.
you know, there is. And it just made me kind of think, you know, like, am I giving the same kind of honor? I mean, I love the people that I work with, but am I really giving the same kind of honor? It has to be intentional.
It does,
right?
yes.
So I love where it's working, and where it's not, we can make it better. We don't have to
Yeah,
be
that's
frustrated
right.
with the people that we're working
Yeah.
with.
So think about that. Think about being intentional, about speaking honorably about the people that you work with, because that really, it like totally brings up the whole family atmosphere to a place where we want to be together, and it's just wonderful. So there's a word of encouragement for you today, right? That we really need to look out for each other, look out for ourselves. Let's just grow with the ministry and with the responsibilities as every other level in our life grows. Let's grow in our graciousness too, and in our, what would you say, our attitudes and the love that we have for one another, and speaking honor over each other all the time.